You got that stinging feeling, disappointment when someone you trusted suddenly let you down? Maybe some of our friends go quiet and don't pick up our calls. Or a colleague gives a cold shoulder to your brilliant ideas. Or a family member acts hurtful, as if they couldn't care less. Did you know? The rush of hormones to alter our emotions to respond to current others' behavior takes about 6 seconds to affect our emotional state. If we act on this sensation within the next 90 seconds, we become subject to irrational emotions. During this time, if we succumb to our feelings, act without careful consideration, not using our intellect, and act or utter words and respond, we will regret. However, if we do not entertain this hormonal surge, our body system will process, cleanse, and release it. We will not lose many good relationships. The amygdala is a part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, especially during fear and fight or flight threat response. This gland is a primordial human remnant from the existence of ancient humans. It tries to find a safe place or situation for you by trying to control the environment, including other human companions. This is manifested as anger, intense, annoyance, worry, frustration, anxiety, or sadness. The amygdala triggers these emotional actions before rational thought has fully processed the situation. In these critical moments, your mind will surely struggle with various questions. Why did they do that? Do I deserve to be treated this way? How could they be so heartless? You surely know this pattern well. The pain of shattered hopes. The burden of grudges secretly nesting in your soul. And the exhausting mental loop, replaying every interaction, thinking about past conversations, wondering what else you could have said or done differently. Could something has been overlooked? Where did I go wrong? This is a struggle many of us face. But what if I told you that the disappointment, pain, and confusion you feel isn't caused by what they did, but by how you react? What if the key to peace doesn't lie in changing others, but in changing your relationship with their behavior? Give me 20 minutes to free you and tell you the truth that will shape a healthier life. This is the radical yet simple idea at the core of the let them theory, a mindset shifts capable of transforming your emotional life from chaos to calm, from impulsive reactions to resilience, from suffering to freedom. The let them theory was popularized by Mel Robbins in 2024. She has also written many other books that help in understanding human attitudes and behavior. This book referenced the opinions and studies of many renowned psychology experts. It has become one of the top 20 most read books, benefiting millions of people. This book is a New York Times bestseller. Please refer to the description below for further information. Basically, this book is divided into 2 parts, Let Them and Let Me. Let Them. The first part of this theory is about letting go of control over others' actions, thoughts, and behaviors. This frees you from unnecessary pressure, as you realize that others' actions are beyond your control. It teaches you to accept the truth in their behavior and not to expect everyone to remain the same or always involve you in everything. Let me. Once you accept let them, the next step is let me. This is about regaining control over what is within your power. It reminds you of the things you can control, what you think about people or situations, what you do or don't do in response, how you react to your own emotions. It's about controlling your own responses to regain your power. Let me describes how we can help others, as long as it's accepted, to educate for self-improvement, our adaptation to others, and mutual benefit, especially for those we love or are close to. Part 1. Please let them. Let them be. It teaches you that 2 things can be true at the same time. For example, your boss might be disappointed you can't work weekends, but you can still be an excellent employee they respect. Or, your parents might be angry you're moving to another city, but you can still pursue your intention. This theory allows you to not over-control and gives others space to be responsible for their actions. In short, we will be happier if we stop trying to control others. When we just let people do what they want, it creates more control and emotional peace for us, and better relationships with others in our lives. This theory encourages you to focus on yourself, how you react to stress, your thought patterns, and areas where you need to grow. It shifts our focus from fear and doubt to freedom and action. We are no longer at an age where we need to prove anything to anyone. We are at an age where we have the right to be happy, to choose what is best for ourselves. This concept is very simple, but its meaning is quite profound, especially for us who are 40, 50, and above. What is the let them theory? The let them theory invites us to say, just let them be. Let them believe what they want to believe. Let them think what they want to think. Let them act in their own way, as long as it doesn't harm themselves or others. The simplest example, our children. They are adults now, with their own ways of life. Have we ever felt worried, felt like we needed to advise them all the time? Sometimes, our advice, even if sincere, might sound like nagging to them. Let them make their choices, let them learn from their own experiences. Our role now might be more like an advisor who listens, not a director who dictates. Some friends might have different political views, different lifestyles. Before, we might have felt the need to debate, to convince them. Now, just let them be. We don't have to agree on everything to still value the friendship. The let them theory is a form of release. Release your sadness. Let's start harvesting our own happiness. It's about letting go of control we never had anyway. We can only control ourselves, our reactions, and our perceptions. Why is this theory so relevant for us who are 50 and above? There are several reasons. First, mental and emotional health. We know, mental health is an important element in the well-being of seniors. When we constantly try to control others or are burdened by their expectations, it impacts our emotions. It can cause stress, anxiety, and disappointment. With the let them theory, we reduce this burden. We choose to focus on our inner peace, not on external turmoil. Second, our energy is becoming more precious. At this age, our energy might not be the same as before. Every drop of energy needs to be used wisely. Why should we spend it on things beyond our control? Instead of debating or worrying about what others do, it's better to use that energy to maintain fitness through regular exercise, enjoy hobbies, travel, or spend quality time with loved ones. For example, I just successfully completed the trek to Everest Base Camp. Imagine if my energy was spent thinking about others' opinions that might question my choice? Impossible, but I succeeded. Third, deepening meaningful relationships. When we let go of the need to change others, we actually create space for relationships to grow authentically. Relationships become more genuine. We start accepting people as they are. I had to learn this when dealing with various characters and backgrounds during my climb. They might have their own ways, but we had the same goal and supported each other. This is important to enjoy every moment with gratitude in our social lives. Fourth, the present and digital reality. We live in a digital age, where the 50 and above age group is increasingly exposed to the internet and artificial intelligence. Social media, news, and information come non-stop. We will always face differing opinions, conflicting information. I've gotten familiar with knowledge media like YouTube. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. I spent a lot of time in academic learning to produce this. If we try to correct every single thing we see or hear, we will be exhausted. The let them theory teaches us to pick our battles wisely. Sometimes, the best thing is to just let them have their views. As the Chinese war general Sun Tzu said, war was won not on the battlefield but in our minds. This doesn't mean we don't care or stay silent about important issues. But it's about choosing where we put our energy and attention. Let me share a true story that can serve as a guide. Imagine you're sitting in a fancy restaurant. The atmosphere is perfect, the food looks delicious, and everything feels just right. Then suddenly, a cockroach scurries across the floor, right in front of you. This is a story Sundar Pichai, one of the most successful tech CEOs in the world, shared about a deeply impactful moment from his childhood. A moment that taught him a lesson far greater than just a cockroach. As a child, while having dinner with his family, a cockroach suddenly appeared, right in front of him. Most children, or even adults, would scream, or at least run away. But Sundar? He remained calm. Instead of reacting with fear or disgust, he observed the cockroach. And he thought, why am I so afraid of this tiny creature? It's just an insect trying to live its life. That moment stayed with him. It wasn't just about the cockroach in the restaurant, it was a metaphor for life. For challenges. For fear. Let them. Sundar realized that often, what frightens us is just something small, something we can choose to let go of or face calmly rather than jumping into panic. It's about perspective. About the thought of letting them be but not giving up. So, if something unexpected crawls into your life, like a cockroach in a restaurant, remember Sundar's story. Take a deep breath. Face it calmly. Because sometimes, our biggest fears are just tiny creatures crossing our path. How to practice the let them theory daily life. 1. Self-awareness. The first step is to recognize when we are trying to control or change others. Do we feel bothered by what others are doing? That's a sign. 2. Release control. Take a deep breath, and repeat in your heart, let them. Understand that you are not responsible for their thoughts, feelings, or actions. 3. Focus on yourself. Shift your focus back to what you can control, your reactions, your emotions, your own choices. Use that energy for activities that build yourself and your well-being. 4. Clear communication. When necessary, this theory is not an excuse not to communicate. If something needs to be conveyed, do so clearly and calmly, but be prepared to accept that others may choose not to listen or disagree. Then, let them. 5. Healthy boundaries. Know your limits. Not everything needs to be fought for. Not every email needs to be replied to. Not every opinion needs to be argued against, even if you know the truth. Sometimes, staying away from drama is a healthier choice. Part 2. Please let me be. The second part of this book shifts from the let them concept to let me, emphasizing how to apply this theory in adult relationships and daily life to regain power, energy, and inner peace. Mel Robbins discusses the reality of adult friendships being different from childhood or teenage years. She introduces the concept of the great scattering, where friend groups break up after school or college. Not all friendships last a lifetime. Some are only for certain seasons or reasons. It's important to accept this natural cycle and not force relationships that are starting to diminish and fade. Let friends change and advance in their respective fields, let them have different priorities, and let them expand their space and distance themselves when needed. This frees you from chasing people who no longer choose to be with you. Instead, focus on what you can control, forming new friendships. Focusing on personal growth. Cherishing good memories. Being open to reconnecting but moving forward positively. Robbins encourages readers to be proactive in building meaningful friendships, such as taking the initiative to connect and plan activities. Let me reach out. Let me plan something. Let me make space for new people. The book also touches on romantic relationships, advising to observe someone's behavior over time and stop making excuses. When someone is not committed, accept their answer, maintain your dignity, and move on, trusting your self-worth. It is also very practical for managing stress at work. Instead of trying to control others' decisions or being bothered by their behavior, focus on your marketable skills, learn a soft skill, and take productive action. This allows you to regain control of your energy and focus. When employees stop doubting themselves and direct that energy toward work, they perform better. Every time your colleague makes a mistake and you still give them trust after that, it will give them 10 times more strength. Robbins connects these let me principles to neuroscience and psychology, showing how letting go of control not only frees emotions but is also effective in reducing stress. When we stop trying to change others, we free up emotional space for more important things, leading to a feeling of being lighter, freer, and more in control. My respected friends, life after 50 is a gift. It is a time for us to harvest the fruits, enjoy peace, and continue to learn and grow. The let them theory is vessel to help us achieve that peace. Remember, we have been through a lot. We deserve to live peacefully and happily. So, start today. Try to practice the let them theory. Let them. And free yourself. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content like this.